All right, I'm back talking Camtasia 2023, and we're going to learn in this video how to make the video you see right here with no plugins, no green screen, and just a couple of quick drag and drop effects, right? So you get this kind of cool look, a lot of motion in the background, beautiful colors, and you get that depth. The talking head, the selfie video popping out from the screen, and this tile background to just separate and give it a little bit of visual interest. So pretty easy to do in Camtasia. Let's take a look. All right, I'm going to open up Home, and I'm going to come over to a clean setup here, and we're going to launch that project, and you can see all it's got in it is that piece of footage right here. So we're going to do this completely from scratch. First things first, let's go up to the library, Camtasia 2023 library. We're going to come down to Dynamic Fills. And we're going to come find, I think Dynamic Fill 4 was the look I was using there. And we're just going to create a bed, a nice little motion background here, beautiful gradient for our video right there. Okay, so I've got that. Then again, back in the library, we're going to come to Dynamic Fills, or not Dynamic Fills, Dynamic Backgrounds. And we're going to scroll down here until we find paper triangles. So, all right, paper triangles right there. So we'll drag that guy in. And you can see that's kind of got this cool surface popping up that the camera animates around in. Totally adjustable over here. We're going to leave it as is default. All right, now that I've got those two things in place, next I'm going to come up to the annotations bin, and I'm going to come over to shapes. And I'm just going to jump into the user tab right here, and I'm going to grab any old shape here. What I want is a rectangle, and I'll make it the same length as those other items down there on the timeline. You can see I've got squares right here, square edges right here, and we'll go ahead and what I want to do is I'm just going to adjust the width of this. We're going to make it 840. And then we'll go and make it 840 here. And now I've got that perfect square right there. Okay, so that's set up, and I'll actually bring it down and butt it up against the bottom of the canvas there, right there. Okay, so I've got that set up. Next thing, I'm going to come over to the Visual Effects tab here, and we're going to come in and find corner rounding, and we'll just drag corner rounding right onto that square shape, and we'll set the radius of the corners to 40, right? So we get these nice rounded edges around everything right there. Okay, so that's set up. Now we get into the interesting part here. We'll get a media mat. Again, I'm in the Visual Effects tab. I'm just going to scroll down until I find that media mat effect. And I'm going to drag it onto that square again too. All right. And you can see that creates this nice little cutout of the paper triangles dynamic background right there. So now I'm just seeing them through the lens of that shape, right? Okay. Final visual effect here that we're going to do, and this is just for fun, just for giggles. This is a good look in and of itself. But we're going to come up to blend modes, and we'll find the blend mode effect. And this we're going to drag onto the paper triangles itself. Okay, I'm going to drag it on there. And you can choose the blend mode you like the most. Here, I'm going to go with linear burn to kind of get that nice bleed through, but with the right tonal properties. Okay, so I've got that all set up there. Okay, now back to the media bin here. And this is where we're going to grab our footage. Okay, so we'll just scroll down on the timeline a little bit, back up here to the media bin, and we're going to drag this guy down here. And you can see, I'm actually going to trim it up right there, do a ripple delete. You can see it's a little bit longer than the rest of this footage, so I'll just drag all of those things out to match its length. Okay. So it's obscuring everything. And this is where background removal just makes things super simple. You don't need a green screen. Just come over to the Visual Effects tab, scroll up, find the background removal effect, and we'll just drag it right onto that piece of footage. Okay, so that removed that outdoor background scene. Now, lots of times you might be recording in front of a closet or in a messy house or in a boring office, and you just want to create something a little bit more interesting. And this is where this look that we're creating comes in handy. So I've got that footage selected, and I'm just going to move it over. I'm going to center it up a little bit over that tile. And you can see right about there. That's the look I want. I want the head popping up above the tile. That creates some depth and separation from both the dynamic fill, that is the entire bed for the background, and then this tile itself. Okay, but the problem is I've got my shoulders sort of sticking out here, and I want to get rid of those. Now, you might be tempted to come in and grab the crop tool and go ahead and grab that footage and drag things over, and that will work, but if I zoom in here, you can see the problem here is I lose my rounded corners on that look. So I'll zoom back out and we'll undo that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to grab that original shape. I'll just solo it real quick so you can see it. Just that shape right there. And we're going to copy it. So Command-C on my Mac. I'm going to unsolo this, and then I'm going to come back to the very beginning here, and I'm just going to paste it. Okay? So it's got a media mat and corner rounding applied to it. So I don't have to do anything special there. But what I do need to do is, one, I need to get out of that crop mode that I was in. So I'll come back to the selection move tool. And I'm just going to hover over this and grab these handles right here. And we'll drag up. Okay. And we'll solo this real quickly so you can see it. So now I've got a shape with rounded corners sitting over the top. It's got a media mat on it. I unsolo it. And what it's allowing is that piece of footage that is below it to pop out, but it's cropping off the corners here in those nice rounded areas and keeping it all nice and contained for myself. All right, so I've got that basic look that wasn't too hard, and now it's just a matter of, you know what, I'll select some stuff here and just keep going here. We'll just center it up a little bit. And just like that, I've got that look. Isn't that cool?
All right, it's another beautiful fall morning.
Not hard at all in Camtasia 2023. Drag and drop effects, background removal, beautiful built-in dynamic backgrounds and fills that allow you to really engage your audience and create visual interest. Hope you enjoy.